and the Trump DOJ opened a sham investigation into her alleged mortgage fraud. We know it's a sham investigation when interim U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, who Donald Trump himself appointed, spent 5 months investigating Tish James. He concluded there was not enough evidence to go forward.
Representative Ted Lieu wasted no time calling out the fear and hypocrisy in the room. He highlighted the courage of Special Counsel Jack Smith, who secured multiple indictments against Donald Trump, while pointing out how some Republicans dodged the hard truths, especially regarding Trump's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Lieu made it clear, this isn't politics. It's about standing up for the law and holding powerful figures accountable.
Now, before I ask questions of Mr. Smith, I just want to make a simple observation. How scared are Republicans of talking about the Epstein files? They're so scared that they literally are calling Jack Smith the distinguished federal prosecutor who secured multiple indictments against Donald Trump with multiple felony counts. Republicans would rather talk about the criminality of Donald Trump in trying to steal an election and trying to stop the peaceful transfer of power, and the criminality of Donald Trump in stealing classified documents, obstructing justice, than about Donald Trump's associations with Jeffrey Epstein and his pedophilia ring. I demand this committee, this chairman, and Republicans to call an immediate hearing asking why the Department of Justice is refusing to release 99% of the Epstein files and why the DOJ is violating the law right now. I have questions, Mr. Smith, for you, and thank you for being here today. My questions center on interactions or lack of interactions between the Biden administration and yourself. Did President Biden or anyone in the Biden White House ever direct you to seek retribution against anyone perceived to be Biden's political opponent?
No.
Did the Biden administration or President Biden or anyone in the White House ever write a social media post directing you to seek retribution against any particular individual?
No.
Did President Biden or anyone else in the Biden White House ever direct you to take any prosecutorial step whatsoever?
No.
Okay. Donald Trump made it clear he wanted to seek retribution against New York Attorney General Tish James. Trump relentlessly attacked her, saying, quote, she should be prosecuted and, quote, arrested and punished because she dared to hold Trump accountable for Trump's fraud in New York. Trump weaponized the Department of Justice, and the Trump DOJ opened a sham investigation into her alleged mortgage fraud. We know it's a sham investigation because they couldn't even get twice grand juries to secure indictments against her. When interim U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert, who Donald Trump himself appointed, spent 5 months investigating Tish James, he concluded there was not enough evidence to go forward. And what did Trump do? He fired his own U.S. attorney. Mr. Smith, did President Biden or anyone else in the Biden White House ever tell you that Donald Trump should be, quote, arrested and punished?
No.
Did President Biden or anyone else in the Biden White House ever threaten to fire you based on any action you took or did not take?
No.
Donald Trump also directed the Trump DOJ to open investigations into his own appointees who refused to do his bidding. His DOJ recently investigated Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell because Powell won't cede to Trump's bullying on interest rates. Did President Biden or anyone else in the Biden White House ever direct you to go after any Biden appointee?
No.
Okay. I just want to say a little bit about what the Republicans have brought up about these phone toll records. Do you believe the Speaker of the House is above the law?
No, I don't believe anybody should be above the
That's
law.
right. And U.S. senators are not above the law, correct?
No.
Yeah. And members of Congress are not above the law, right?
No.
Yeah, that's right, because we're not. And what Republicans are trying to argue is somehow, if you're doing an investigation, you can't do stuff to senators or members of Congress. Get out of here. We're just under law like everybody else. And by the way, the speech and debate clause only applies to legislative acts, communications with legislative acts. Stealing a frickin' election and trying to do so is not a legislative act. It is a crime. So I don't know what the heck they're talking about. And this is so stupid. I'm a former prosecutor. You never in an investigation go and try to get someone's toll records or phone records and then tell them, hey, dude, we're about to get your phone records. Of course you wouldn't tell them. What the Republicans are saying today is just idiotic. I am so pleased you're here on national TV telling the American people that Trump was indicted. He was indicted lawfully, and multiple grand juries secured those indictments. Thank you for your service, and history will look upon you well. I yield back.
Representative Lieu made it clear that Jack Smith followed the law and evidence every step of the way, without letting political pressure or public opinion dictate his actions. He emphasized that Smith's work was entirely independent, based on thorough investigations and grand jury proceedings, leading to multiple lawful indictments against Donald Trump. Lieu highlighted how Trump attempted to weaponize the Justice Department, targeting officials like New York Attorney General Tish James because she held him accountable, while launching baseless investigations against his own appointees who did not comply with his demands. These actions show how someone in power can try to twist legal institutions for personal gain, but Smith's steadfast commitment prevented that abuse and upheld the integrity of the law. Lieu addressed the claims made by some Republicans suggesting that members of Congress or other high-ranking officials could somehow be shielded from investigations. He pointed out that stealing an election or obstructing its results is not a legislative act and cannot be justified under any legal loophole. He called out the absurdity of arguments against subpoenas or investigations, stressing that everyone, regardless of position, must answer to the law. By exposing these double standards, Lieu made it clear that no one is above justice, and that attempts to evade accountability threaten the credibility of the entire system. He also emphasized that the Biden administration never influenced Smith to pursue or avoid any individual for political reasons. Every decision Smith made was rooted in evidence and legal duty. Lieu contrasted this with Trump's repeated efforts to manipulate his DOJ, punish political opponents, and intimidate independent officials. This stark difference illustrated the essential role of impartial prosecutors in maintaining a functioning democracy. Lieu pointed out the wider stakes for the nation. When investigators like Smith act with integrity despite pressure, they reinforce public trust in the justice system. When leaders avoid accountability, mislead the public, or manipulate legal institutions, they weaken democracy itself. Lieu drew attention to the reluctance of some Republicans to address Trump's criminality, including election interference and classified document theft, and their avoidance of critical matters like the Epstein files. By confronting these issues, Lieu framed the hearing as a test of morality, ethics, and civic responsibility, not just politics. He praised Smith for standing strong under threats and attacks, highlighting how essential it is to have independent legal professionals who follow facts and the law rather than political influence. Smith's work demonstrates that even the most powerful individuals can be held accountable when the justice system operates as intended. Lieu reinforced that accountability, transparency, and courage in enforcing the law are vital for democracy to survive. Without them, public trust erodes, and dangerous precedents are set. By defending Smith and exposing Republican fear and avoidance, Lieu reminded everyone that upholding justice requires more than laws on paper. It demands principled individuals willing to act. Citizens deserve leaders and prosecutors who pursue truth regardless of power or politics. Lieu made it clear that Jack Smith embodies that principle, protecting the legal system from manipulation and ensuring that the law applies equally to everyone. For the public watching, this hearing showed what it means to put the rule of law above partisanship, personal gain, or intimidation, and why independent prosecutors like Smith are crucial for a democracy to function. Lieu's words weren't just a defense of Smith. They were a warning that justice depends on courage, integrity, and accountability, even when the stakes are high and the pressure is immense.